would you be offended if a man opened the door for you or offered to carry your bag, for instance? Well, in an excerpt from his new book, Woke is Dead, Piers Morgan says what he calls radical feminist types have tried to poison gentlemanly gestures like holding doors, carrying heavy bags, or paying for dinner. Piers says they're a well-mannered expression of a man's respect for a woman, and most women appreciate what he calls a big part of what real masculinity is. So, did you get all that?
I did get
it. What do you think? How do you feel if someone were to...
don't often agree with him, but I do agree with that. I think it's down to... you know, there's nothing nicer. Well, it's down to manners anyway, isn't it? Certainly with holding doors open and all of that. But I did have a friend recently who held a door open for a lady, and as he held the door open, she absolutely went for him. You know, went for him, said, "Are you saying I can't open my own door because I'm a weak woman?" And all. And he was so embarrassed. And luckily, this other woman came up and said, no, he held the door open because he's been brought up right with manners, and he would hold the door open for you whether you're a man or a woman. But he said to me then, I'll never, ever do that again. I'll never hold the door open, because he was just mortified.
Yeah.
And then recently when I was going home on the train and we had to change, we had to cross the bridge, there was loads of steps and I had all this luggage and everyone was pushing past, you know, trying to get the train. And then this young boy, he ran up the stairs, turned round and ran all the way back down, and he was the only one that said to me, "Would you like some help with your cases?"
Oh,
I loved him. Nice. And I said to him, "I don't know you, but can you tell your mother she's done a marvellous job?" So, yeah, I do, you know, and if I meet a guy and he holds the door open or he opens the car door for me or whatever, or a first date, you know, I'll always offer to pay. You know, or shall we go Dutch, as they say. But if he said yeah, I'll think you're not getting.
No, but on a first date, I think on a first date they should pay. I always think that. I always think they should pay on a first date. I think in our house we've somehow ended up slipping into what I call pink and blue jobs, which I know a lot of people will be like, oh.
I feel nauseated already.
And I don't know how. I don't know if it's because of our upbringing, but like when it comes to like the bins and things like that, I will do it, but I would like appreciate if Jeremy does it.
I can't bear the way that modern society is being taken backwards into like male and female roles. It just doesn't bother me in the slightest. What I find comical is to flog his book that Piers Morgan is painting himself as some kind of chivalrous knight, some gentleman who, you know, is very, very going through life so upset that he opens doors for women, does all these lovely things, and some horrible radical feminists are not appreciating it. Whereas this radical feminist would appreciate anyone opening a door. You know, man, woman, whatever. I think good manners, as Kalina said, are the fundamental thing that means we've got a civilised society. But what I find comical about Piers' book is that only a few weeks ago, well, Christine and I had the misfortune to share a dinner table with Piers Morgan. We were at a very posh dinner in the City of London, and Christine and I were sitting right next to Piers Morgan. And as the people were making very important speeches, who talked all the way through it? Piers Morgan, who demanded wine when no wine was being served because there was a lull in the service. Piers Morgan. And then when the wine came, wanted champagne. So actually, Piers Morgan, you know, try having a few manners before you tell women about chivalry.
Can I just say...
She's so frightened.
I've got just thrown in with this dinner. I was actually sitting right beside him, and to be fair, he was being a bit naughty because he knows I like naughty, and he was making me giggle when he shouldn't have been. I get that, but he does have his soft side.
Yeah,
that's the problem with Piers. I think we all see him as a certain way, and he is quite.
Yeah, but his manners were terrible.
I didn't know she was taking note the entire time. Piers should have known as well. Let's all just be nice humans.
Yes.
Yeah,
Let's hold the doors for each other and look after one another. Would that not just be a really nice, simple sort of solution to all of this?